Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Once again, my name is Julio Navarrete. I'm the Creative Writing Coordinator at Educators for Fair Consideration. And we're about to witness 7 extraordinary young writers who are going to share a piece of themselves with you. The stories you're about to hear were developed over the past 3 summers in our creative writing program. The program creates a safe space and nurturing community for students to honor their immigration stories, to grow and heal through writing, and to share their work with broader audiences. These students shed light on what it's like to grow up as undocumented in the United States. They talk about not being able to return to their homelands, about wanting to be accepted as Americans, and about the fear of living in the shadows. Ladies and gentlemen, please show your love to Ingrid, Nu, Catherine, Gabriela, Nadia, Steve, and Irving. Enjoy.
Proof that immigration is growing faster than ever before, and not in the places you'd expect.
More than 30 state troopers in Massachusetts will soon have the authority to detain and arrest illegal immigrants.
Most immigrants come here to work, like those immigrants that were working in Romney's house.
Mitt Romney will complete a high-tech fence and enhance border security.
The immigration battle is heating up in the state of Arizona.
Illegals could not obtain.
I rise today in strong support of the DREAM Act, H.R. 1751.
I'd build a wall. In fact, I'd hire illegal immigrants to build the wall.
You're being sarcastic with the illegal aliens, but the wall is...
No, it's cheap labor.
New information tonight about the tremendous financial cost of our illegal alien crisis.
Without the DREAM Act, Ernesto can't afford the tuition and might lose his status as a student.
The guy can come down there and ask him whether he's an illegal alien, lock him up, and kick him out of the country.
This bill is less about the kids who deserve to benefit from the legislation than the country that will get the benefit.
Washington is literally lying to us on illegal immigration.
The White House and the Department of Homeland Security announced that undocumented workers will now be allowed to stay in the U.S. and apply for work permits.
This is the right thing to do for the American people. Maybe I didn't ask for an argument. I'm answering your question.
Want to scare the American people? What you say is the bill's an amnesty bill.
Good morning, my name is Ingrid Hernandez, and I'll be reading Letter to Myself Before Leaving. Ingrid, make sure to hold Tia Elvi y Tita for at least 10 minutes. Don't worry, you're young. They'll find it adorable, nothing out of the ordinary. Make sure you look at them until you have memorized the lines of their wrinkles, the precise color of their eyes, the number of eyelashes. Don't forget to note what they are wearing as well. Take a picture with your mind and keep it tucked in your soul. Walk around your bedroom one last time. Notice the color of the walls. Make sure you can answer these key questions. Are there any pictures hanging? Is your bed made? How many stuffed animals did you leave behind? What color was your pillowcase? Your mother will tell you not to bring more than one doll with you. She'll tell you that there is no more room for your toys in your luggage. Please don't listen. Grab your favorite 3 and hide them in your backpack. She will not notice. Now run to Papa Julio's cantina. Take a look around it. I know it may seem insignificant now, but this place holds memories. Trust me, you'll want to remember it. Now call out his name until he comes out. Don't let him get away with a simple waved goodbye. Kiss his forehead. Make sure you remember his voice, his big brown eyes, and his white hair. Did you take a picture of him too? Assure him with one look that you will become a respectable young lady. He may never get a chance to see you become one. Have you followed my instructions? Now you're ready to go. But let me tell you one more secret before you leave. It will be a very long time before you see this place again, if you ever do. Don't ask me how long, because I don't even have an answer to that now. Now grab your backpack, keep your smile and enthusiasm, and board the bus. Sincerely, me.
My name is New, and this is Things I Don't Want. Age, 16. A driving permit, the first step to freedom. Age, 17. A state ID to watch 300 and Superbad at the box office. Age, 18. Birthday, midnight, the first lottery scratcher from 7-Eleven. A summer job at In-N-Out Burger or Cold Stone Creamery. A California driver's license with an embarrassing headshot. And a second-hand car to maintain that costs way more to maintain than to even buy. Age, 19. Pell Grants, Cal Grants, and federal grants on my financial aid award letter. The ability to accept the UC Regents Scholarship for exceptional high school academics. A work-study job at Moffitt or Dell, getting paid to arrange books. Age, 20. A paid internship to research the next groundbreaking scientific discovery. Age, 22. The Traveler Summer Research Fellowship at Weill Cornell Medical College in New York City. Age, 23. The just consideration of my medical school application and federal Stafford loans to pay for medical school. Every year, a day without fear, a life without bars, visibility, legality, status, papers, my own 9-digit. Thank you.
My name is Catherine Eusebio. This is how to tell your story in 6 steps. Step 1, introduce settings, characters, and the relationships. You, a dorky, charming boy, interested in technology and science. Me, the protagonist, the highly visible and yet sometimes still in the closet, undocumented activist. We find each other. We connect. 2 microphones plugged into a home karaoke system, we sing 90s pop songs into each other's ears for what seems like a decade. Step 2, introduce conflict into your narrative. Months later, the differences come out. You don't like desserts, and I basically only eat desserts. I am a morning person, and you thrive at night. You analyze the world through the scientific method, and I see the world through the lens of politics. But for dinner, we can agree on a Thai restaurant. One of us, me, begins a casual dinner conversation on the subject of ICE raids and deportations and detention. And you add, well, isn't ICE just deporting people that shouldn't be here? I fumble, trying to walk you through the labyrinth of immigration law, economics, and foreign policy, with a side of pad thai. They do not go well together. Step 3, heighten the drama with pauses and varying the cadences of your speech. My thoughts are tossed and mixed and fried, a steaming helping of nausea, a generous dollop of loneliness. Either I could tell you that I am one of those people that shouldn't be here. I could tell you that I came here as a child, found out when I was 16, didn't stop blaming my parents till I knew better. I could tell you how I struggled to pay for college on my own, how I was rejected from scholarships, and how I cried silently into my sleeves on BART to avoid disturbing other passengers. I could tell you how I joined the movement, how I advocated for the DREAM Act with hundreds of other people, even when immigration reform was still a third-rail issue. I could tell you how I will always feel like a foreigner, even if I stay or if I leave. I could tell you, I might be able to change your mind, but I could tell you and fail to win you over too. Step 4, add humor to relieve tension. Or I could make a grand exit. People that shouldn't be here, you mean people like me? You can have dinner alone. And I can walk out with my head held high, fist in the air, expecting people to give me high fives and applauses on my way to the door. But then who would pay for dinner? And then who would drive me home? I could hang out in the parking lot. If I walked out on you, who else am I giving up on? Step 5, communicate purpose with your audience. Of course, I am down for the cause. I've had my share of anger and oppression and struggle, and I've also lobbied and rallied and protested the shit out of everything. But what would you do? Every day we have a choice. We can fortify ourselves in our comfort zones of communities of people that think like us. Or we can choose to have conversations with everyone else, people who would otherwise not understand who we are. But if this is truly a movement to bring justice into our society, then shouldn't we be including as many people as possible? This is our challenge and our responsibility, discovering where our values meet, even when we don't expect them to. Finding points of connection, even when our opinions are polarized. Step 6, conclude your story. So I don't walk out and protest. Instead, we finish our dinner. I reach across the table and say, let's talk. Tell me your story and I'll tell you mine. Thank you.
In June, the White House announced a new plan that if you were here in the U.S. before the age of 16, and you are younger than the age of 31, and you've been here at least 5 years, you can stay. Now, that's the broad outline of his proposal that was passed over the summer. But what you're arguing is that, look, the law of the land in Arizona is that if you're illegal, you do not get the same rights as those who are legal, correct?
Right.
If this president really does take seriously his commitment to finding jobs for Americans, you don't want to keep illegal aliens illegally in our workforce taking those jobs that would go to U.S. citizens if they left. That is not how the immigration laws are structured. And I
by the way these laws are structured under this program, no one is getting a green card, no one is getting amnesty, nobody's even getting citizenship. What it is doing at the most is
just getting
ending
reviewed.
deportations, not even canceling them. It's just a suspension.
Things I'll never say. My high school vice principal asked me to attend an event that they had put together to try to convince wealthy professionals to sponsor more students. It was my second year of college, and they wanted me to talk about my dreams and ambitions, the challenges, and how the school had contributed to my achievements. But there were two things they asked me not to speak of: politics and my immigration status. It was a lovely evening of gourmet food and valet parking, round tables covered in white silk tablecloths, nicely placed in the patio. The soft lighting of the lamps and the warm glow of the moonlight illuminated the evening. Waiters paced back and forth, filling our glasses with wine and apple cider. The splendor of it all seemed almost surreal. I sat on a table next to my 11th grade physics teacher. Across from us sat an elderly man and his beautiful young wife. We conversed about finance and technology, about his travels and expensive cars, as if he and I were no different. I was beginning to feel comfortable. But then he turned to my teacher and asked what the school's policy was regarding undocumented students. My teacher looked at me reassuringly, and I looked down. With carefully chosen words, he told him that there was none. The old man turned to me and said, I would not want to sponsor aliens that would take away opportunities that students like you deserve. I smiled and nodded in agreement, but the heavy sensation in my chest did not go away. That same feeling I get when I swim underwater and try to hold my breath for too long. There are things I'll never say.
My name is Gabriela, and this is my nights at Eshelman. Last year, on a hot summer afternoon, I met up with my friend Antonio to get burritos at Pancho's. At the bus stop, we started talking about the scholarship interview we both had the week before. I kept listening inattentively until he said, "Yeah, I mentioned to the committee how we used to spend the nights at Eshelman Hall. It's funny, remember? How we would freak out about getting caught?" When I heard the word Eshelman, images of the third floor, the smelly girls' bathroom, and lonely halls at midnight flooded my mind. I had forgotten about that chapter in my life. Sometimes I try to block memories from the past, perhaps as a defense mechanism, because they are too painful to remember. But fortunately, my friend Antonio reminded me of them. It was the first semester of my sophomore year. I was at a point where I could no longer bear commuting late at night, walking through the dark and empty streets of West Oakland, especially after being chased by a guy on my way home. I was at the corner of Union and 12th Street when all of a sudden I see a man biking from afar. He gets closer and closer. Then he yells at me. I was so scared that I couldn't remember any of the words he said. He got off his bike and started running after me. Luckily, I was only a couple blocks away from home. I ran as fast as I could. "Fire! Fire!" I yelled, and people started looking out their windows. The man stopped chasing me as I started desperately knocking on the door of the house where I used to live in and screaming, "Open the door, please," with tears on my eyes. Scariest experience ever. I decided to, quote unquote, move in to Eshelman after the incident. Around the same time, I learned that my friend Antonio didn't have a place to live. I suggested that we both spend some nights at one of the student offices in the building. The first days were rough, but soon we got used to the routine. I would sleep on this old yellow couch and he would sleep on the carpeted floor. At 5 a.m., the Latina in charge of cleaning the offices would come to take out the trash. She reminded me of my mom, always wearing a ponytail, comfortable jeans, and t-shirt. Every time we heard the door to the hall opening, we just had to make sure to be awake and pretend to be in the computer or something. We tried to be extremely friendly with her when she came into the office. Antonio would often make compliments about her dedication to her hard, back-breaking job. ¿Cómo está, señora? ¿Qué duro trabaja usted? Sí, mire, la vida de pobre, the woman would say. Antonio was almost done eating his burrito. He says, "It's crazy how we used to do that." The life of an undocumented student. In between bites. I nodded. Antonio said, "Haha, remember how one day we used to be so sick of waking up at 5 a.m. that we were like, fuck this, and did not care if the lady would see us sleeping?" Yeah. As we walked out of the restaurant, I looked around and wondered how many other undocumented students have done what Antonio and I did. I'm sure there's many. Thank you.
My name is Nadia, and my piece is called A Knock on the Door. Thump, thump. The vibrating sound of knuckles pounding against the wooden door of my apartment penetrates through the walls. I'm in the middle of reading my Facebook wall updates. I just found out that my friends Katie and Chris got engaged. I didn't even know they were dating. I knew there was something fishy about them spending too much time together. But all of a sudden, I hear the noise coming from the door. Thump, thump. Slowly, I close my laptop, turn my radio off, and lean closer to make sure I wasn't imagining the sound. Thump, thump. The unmistakable noise indicating someone's presence at the front door. I wonder who it is. Could it be my uncle? No, it can't be him. He would have called before coming. He knows better. Should I open the door? Thump, thump. As if a rewind button was pressed in my memory, my mind travels back 6 years ago. The door creaks as I open it early on a cold winter morning, 5 days before Christmas. 2 officers in navy blue uniforms with the letters ICE written all over their suits enter my home, pretending to be police, looking for a man they knew did not live within the house. We're looking for a man named Juan Gonzalez. He listed this address as his residence. Is he home? We don't know that person. My mom answers. Ma'am, we apologize. We must have been mistaken. Can I see your ID? Don't worry, it's just part of the process. Thump, thump. Ma'am, are you aware that you and your family have an order of deportation? Thump, thump. I see the frightened faces on my mom and my sister as they are being patted down while the officers are doing the same to me. I feel the cold metal against my skin as they place handcuffs around my hands and chain them to my stomach. I hear my mom's pleading voice. Why are you doing this? What did we do wrong? Please, don't hurt my daughters. Thump, thump. The sound brings me back to the present. Are they coming for me? Again? Or are they coming to take away the rest of my family members? Are they here to tear my heart into more pieces? Have they not inflicted enough pain upon my family and me? I peek through the cracks of my bedroom door, making sure their eyes are not peering through the windows. Quietly, I tiptoe on the soft carpet to the front door, hoping they can't hear my heart beating quickly. After traveling what seemed like 12 miles, when instead it was 12 feet, I reach the front door. I peer through the hole in the door. A man in a brown uniform, alone, holding a square package in his hand. I breathe a sigh of relief. I open the door. Delivery for Nadia. Can you please sign here? Thank you.
Hi, my name's Steve, and this is traffic lights. 1, 2, 3, 4. My mind races as I look down through a window that does not open, my only view into the outside world. As I look down below, I see the bright lights puncturing through the darkness, moving around like tiny ants traveling in a line. These lights remind me of the streets I once used to walk on, the streets of downtown San Francisco, with the bright lights of storefronts and the electrifying air full of life and energy. But instead, I'm deep inside, here, trapped between 4 walls, covered with great pain, with scratches and pencil marks that decorate the walls with Bible verses of hope, faith, and forgiveness. 5, 6, 7, 8. Books that I borrow from my local library are due next month. My biology midterm is in 2 weeks. My best friend's birthday is in 8 days. How long will I be here for? I'm frozen, stuck in time. I no longer have a sense of time or space. Immobilized, paralyzed, forgotten. 9, 10, 11, 12. Yesterday night, 11 p.m. I'm sitting in a 24-hour Starbucks, flipping through pages and texts of how DNA translates into RNA. Starting till my eyes can barely stay open. Doing what society has told me all along, to work hard and study hard, and you will one day be able to achieve your dreams. Today, I'm here, laying still in this cold, hard bed, despised by society for trying to fit into the mold that they wanted me to be. Trapped behind an impenetrable door, a door without a doorknob, with dents and scratches of perilous prisoners who try to escape, a door that separates the desirables from the undesirables. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. My future no longer matters. I no longer know the realms between reality and imagination. I'm tired and exhausted from the events of the last 48 hours I can barely comprehend. I'm just hoping to wake up from this horrible nightmare. If I could only just close my eyes, drift off to sleep, hoping that when I wake up, I'll be back in my room with a small wooden desk, a laptop, a pile of homework from my 19-unit workload that I'm taking this semester. That I will wake up to the aroma that seeps into my nose every morning of the bold and familiar smell that my mother brews every morning. That I will wake up and hear the sounds of her heels taking careful but strong steps as she heads out to her 12-hour work shift. 17, 18, 19, 20. Yes, 20 seconds. That's how long it takes for the traffic light to turn from red to green. 20 seconds. That seems to last a lifetime stuck in this cell. 20 seconds. The only thing that I hold on to remind me of the life outside, when I'm here, inside, laying still, looking out through the window, immobilized, paralyzed, forgotten. Never in my life have I felt so small, so weak, so helpless. What I once thought was bright and secure is now dark and uncertain. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Traffic lights. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Irving Pineda, and the name of my piece is Letter to a Child. Thrive. You must thrive. Be brave, young being. Inevitable hardships lie ahead. Rocket ships, airships, ships to navigate life's current. Drown. You will drown, once or twice, but your fire will remain intact. Pave. Your own path you must pave. The road less traveled by. They say illegal. Tell them that you're undocumented, thriving within an antiquated system of broken laws. You are on the verge of a new discovery, a pioneer, a pilgrim, a saint, and a sinner. Set sail. Grow. You will grow, faster than your soul can carry you. You will grow to love your new tongue. It's an acquired taste. You will grow to hate bigotry. Hell. You will give the naysayers hell. Suffer. Because of our bonds, we do suffer. Love. You will love. Ethereal beauty lies within the ties that bind us. Protect those bonds with fierce conviction. Thank you.